Welcome back, everybody. Doing a little blast from the past. Once upon a time, I had a little side business to my side business, building these outdoor fire tables. This one's probably 12 years old, and as you saw, it had a big crack in it. I'll put that up now. So as you can see, there's a big fault line right down the middle. Now that had lasted a very long time, going through many freeze and frost cycles year after year, and somehow a crack developed in it, and that's it. So what I've done is I've sourced a new granite top that will last, who knows, 10 years, 15 years, maybe only 5 years. But it's a different shape. That's kind of how I did the business, is I would source these granite remnants off of Craigslist for $100 to $200, depending on how nice they are, and then build a table, fire table. I had the whole gas assembly, everything worked out. Right here, you put your tank in there, and I had a little door system, and it worked great. But the amount of tables I would have to make every year to support myself, and the amount of marketing that I would have to invest to get the customers, it just didn't work out. It was such a niche market, it wasn't going to last for decades. So that's why I kind of got out of it. What I got to do to this is I got to cut it down. This is going to be the size right here. So I got to cut this whole section off. I'm going to reposition these legs to the new section. I'll give you a shot on the inside. You can see there's some angle iron supports in here. And put a very massive, super thick, 3-centimeter new granite slab on top of this thing. So here's your gas valve. This is your igniter button. Tick, 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 tick. I had it all worked out. None of that spark stuff. You just press it down. The little battery pack would go on the inside. It worked amazing. So I got to cut through this angle iron here. And that one down there. Use stainless steel bolts with the nylon locking nuts. Haven't had this tool out in a long time. I used to do a fair bit of at-home metal fabrication, and this tool here looks just like a regular homeowner grade DeWalt circular saw, but it's more than that because it has a carbide metal cutting circular saw blade. And this bad boy is used, it's all gummed up from cutting oil and metal shavings, but this is what I'm going to use to buzz that thing in half. Alright, I'm going full safety Sally on this. Double eye protection, facial protection, ear protection. I can't see anything, so I'm just going to use the force and zip through this. Oh, I need to do more yoga. Back in the days when you didn't have that thumb safety switch, you just pull that trigger and let her rip, potato chip. And here we go. There we go. Clamped up, C-ported onto the angle. Let's go the other way. Oh, I'm getting too old. Now, if you guys are wondering where the heck did this guy get that super cool caulk gun shirt and hat, there'll be a link down in the description where you can get your own. Man, this is making a huge mess. There's metal shavings everywhere. So there's a lot of ways to skin this cat. Some of you might be wondering, why not just whip out your angle grinder with a brand new cutting disc? And I think, yeah, you're probably right. Let's give it a shot. Cutting through the sheet metals goes through like butter. But once you get to that angle iron, it's a little bit of a slow go. I'm probably putting a little too much wear on that blade. Another option, I don't know if it's over in frame here, is this is my portable bandsaw. I have it set up in a vise right now. I can pop all these attachments off and easily get enough depth to cut through the angle on each side. Well, I'm gonna get all PP'd up, and we'll try it with the angle grinder and see if it goes through that angle iron easier. That didn't last long. Gotta get a bigger battery. This one ought to do it. Yeah. Well, that was much quicker, a lot less mess. I'm going to brace this up and buzz through that last bit there. So these are Harbor Freight clamps. And they've worked well for me for a while, but I've just started noticing a problem when cranking on them, trying to get them to clamp down more than just snug. See, there's these ridges right there on this part here, here with my fingernail. They're not very aggressive, and that's what this kind of clamps down against. This one grabbed pretty good, but I've had several that are worn out. All those little teeth there just get shaved right off. They've done well over years, Hey, buzz through the last angle iron. Gotta get my PPP on. Not bad. That one, that little saw action there zipped right through that real quick. Impressive, impressive. So, I'm going to put them back on. Okay, the table base is now resized. I'm going to take it over, put the top on it, and that's it for now. They just needed a top on it and a usable table. Would you like to see me turn this into a fire-breathing table? I'll show you how I hook up all the gas controls, the igniter, how I put a burner inside the granite top. Drop a comment down below if you want to see that. Maybe even hit the like button. If we get, 50,000 likes on this video, I'll make another video of what I was just talking about. If you stuck around to the end, you got to see me buff out the cut edge of that granite slab. I didn't know that that was a cut edge, but I got the right tools. This here is an old tool of mine, a Drill Master from Harbor Freight, and it's a variable speed buffing tool. I think the intended purpose is to like buff out paint on a car, but it works great with these stone buffing pads. I'll put a link down in the description where I get these. It's a pretty easy skill to get the hang of. Add a little water, buff the edge, start with coarser grits, move all the way up to the real fine grits. You'll have a mere wet finish on your granite edge. It also works on quartz. I've also done it on granite tile. I've used it a lot of times over the years. If you're into home improvement, remodeling, things like that, you got to have something like this. I have upgraded to a system that is pneumatic, and you hook a hose up to it, but you got to wear like a full rain suit because it throws water everywhere. But for smaller jobs, this little tool here from Harbor Freight and these buffing pads, these go on with Velcro. They're numbered. That's the 1, 2, 3, and this is another one just called Buff. I had a couple questions in the last video about my Champion generator and why I don't have a Honda. Here's my Honda. So I've had this Honda generator forever. Took it all the way to Florida. Was on the sailboat in saltwater conditions for a couple years. It was my main source of electricity on the sailboat. Once I sold the sailboat, I kept the generator. It works great. The reason I upgraded, I don't even know if you could call it an upgrade, I increased my wattage to, what is that, 3,500 watt inverter. This generator here is actually working as a weight because I'm using it to glue this table back together. Whew, almost got a hernia bringing this up here. So 2 years ago, I had a baby. I didn't have it, my wife had it, and she was on maternity leave the entire summer. And I took the entire summer off too. And we hit the open road in our camper, and if you know anything about babies, infants, they don't sweat. They can't regulate their body temperature. So if it's too hot, they can't just cool down by sweating. I needed air conditioning in the camper off the grid. And that's where this came in. It's got electric start and remote control electric start. I lived off the back of the camper. Anytime it got too hot, hit the electric start, brum, and we could run our air conditioner. I've got one of those soft start doohickeys on the air conditioner. So I technically could run it off the 2000, but at higher elevations in some of the national parks, you lose horsepower, and 2000 watt Honda didn't always work well. This one here would run the air conditioner on eco mode for 10 to 12 hours and didn't even really know it was there. It was just a light hum in the background. So anyways, that's why I have the Champion, not a Honda, is the remote electric start. Oh, I left the switch on. The battery's probably dead now. That's what happens when you have too much technology. There's no battery to leave on in that Honda. Let's see here, is this thing gonna work? Yeah. Wait, wrong button. Where'd it get? That's eco mode there. And alright. Carbon monoxide poisoning now. So as you can see, it works just fine even after leaving the battery switch on for a couple days. Gotta remember to turn that off. Got any questions about today's video or where you can get a sweet caulk gun shirt or hat. That'll be linked in the description, the hats and the shirts. Do I always warranty my stuff for 10 or 12 years? It really depends on the customer and how simple the job is. That was an easy job, just a little zip, zip, zip with the circular saw, a couple drill holes, done in an hour. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Goodbye.